everyone, good morning. So I am really privileged and honored to have Dr. Mehta, who is a double doctorate and global holistic health guru, and he has 54 years of yogic experience, and he's a global icon. And I'm really proud and honored to have you, sir, on my show. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much too. Bhaktawar, and with a lot of people call you Bakku.
Yes. Nice. I'm an emotional resilience and happiness coach. I just got sir to help us learn more about emotional resilience because change is the only thing that remains permanent in our lives. And sometimes we go through a happy change wherein we are mentally prepared, and sometimes we go for uncalled for change, which is something where you are not mentally prepared and the ground below just shifts beneath you. So I just have a few questions that may help.
Please.
Yes. So how can a person hold on to their calm and remain resilient in such a situation if there is a job loss or a loss of a loved one?
So life is seldom a lake. It's more of an ocean, an ocean in motion, where you need to surf. And yes, of course, there's no guarantee you won't fall, but the very effort to surf is a learning ability and a coping mechanism of a human mind, the neural coordinates for your body too. And then, of course, that triggers a spiritual awakening with the experiences of that coping mechanism and suffering. So in this, there is growth. Whenever a human is challenged, evolution happens, because champions are born out of challenges. And extraordinary are those who know there is something within them which is superior to circumstance. Now, this is the knowledge and the awareness one must carry within, or rather live within. And this comes with the knowing of yoga, not practice of yoga. Because you could be in practice, you could be out of practice. But living yoga, learning yoga, and knowing and experiencing yoga gives you that awareness of absolute confidence. So if you say that change is the only constant, that brings the biggest hope to fore that this too shall pass, because it will change. If time and tide bring you a situation or confront you with a circumstance, the same time and tide will take you out of it too, because life is a constant flow. So when I say yoga, it is not only the exhibition that we speak about of asanas, which are postures in poetry. I'm talking about the mother principle. The first very mother principle is that yoga is a confluence of energies, confluence of polarities, where Ganga comes from here, Yamuna comes from here, they meet at a point in Prayagraj and they birth Saraswati. So yoga is the birthing of new realities out of harmonious confluence of energy and no conflict, where there is complementing and no acrimony. So dissolving of the individual identities of her, they uniformly become one. So the identity of Ardhanarishwar, which is not an identity, so here it's Virodhabhas, which means a paradoxical reality. That is yoga. Yoga is also when you, in the feeling of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the feeling of unison and oneness, your prefrontal cortex consonance with all living beings with the same vibratory frequency. So that brings to fore empathy, compassion, and latitudinal understanding. The third being that yoga is also your physical geometry in alliance or in congruence with the cosmic geometry. So the cosmic geometry, let's go to the lowest denominator of cosmic geometry, let's say a Tarasana. So you become a palm tree, the attributes of a palm tree, they come into you. Then let's say you do a Parvatasana, the attributes of the mountain come into you. So you live and you become that what you do and think and become one with. Okay? Lastly, I would say, yoga is also about resonance. So there's resonance of sound and there's resonance of soundless, which is anahatanad. And in that, your limbic brain, your reptilian brain, which has the memory of all the lives that you've lived, right from the time we were detected as a speck of a chemical on the rims of the volcano after the Big Bang, which scientists called it chemolitho-autotropic hypothermophile, to the point 14.8 billion years later, we are consciously thinking, creating, analyzing, feeling, laughing, emoting, crying human beings.
Wow.
Okay? And that human being who's capable of becoming a god, because every god was a human first, but a god in seed form. Okay? So I would say only human consciousness can rise above gods or fall below animals. So Krishna, Christ, Muhammad, Mahadev, Zarathustra, Buddha, Saraswati, Durga, Sita, Gayatri, they were all human beings, but gods in seed form. They flowered, they blossomed. What stops you and me? So if you are a god in yourself, what is this emotional resilience we are talking about?
Yes.
So yoga takes you to the point of evolution through the 8 limbs of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, samadhi. We will not get into each definition. So if yoga is a ladder of evolution to become God, whereas life of ignorance, which means kleshas, which means avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, which give rise to kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madh, maya, matsara, the 7 sins, pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth. They take you to the life of entropy. As per physics, entropy means the universal tendency of orderliness breaking into disorderliness. So the disorder brings you dis-ease. The dis-ease takes you into degeneration. Degeneration is a progenitor of disintegration, decay, and death. So yoga is the answer to all, and I would ask every life coach to do fundamental learning, studying in yoga that will empower you better with the deepest understanding of human consciousness.
I agree with you. Okay, so how can one bounce back from unexpected setbacks without losing hope?
So, what is the reality of the adrishya, invisible energy, of which we all are made of? The whole universe came into existence because of the most subtle vibration of that energy. So what is the reality of that energy? That it is not static. It is bouncing in nature. So if you align with that energy, bouncing will become your attitude, bouncing will become your thought, bouncing will become your intention, and your intention and thought will become your reality. So Rig Ved says, we are what our deepest desires are. As are our desires, so will be our will. As will be our will, so will be our intentions. As will be our intentions, so will be our deeds. And as will be our deeds, so will be our destiny. So bouncing back will become your destiny. And we are the co-creators of our destiny. We are not the victims of destiny, because we can write our destiny. Whatever has happened till today is what you did and seeded yesterday. But whatever will happen from now in Vartaman Kal and Bhavishya Kal will happen of what you live with in awareness. So very important. If you think that you are a victim of destiny, then you are vulnerable to it. But if you think you can be the master of destiny, then you will be the author of it. Why? As I said, only human consciousness can rise above gods or fall below animals, because we have 2 legs to walk towards our destiny, 2 hands to make it, a mind to perceive it, a heart to believe it, and a spirit to achieve it. So if your spirit is invincible, why? Because water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, earth cannot bury it, fire cannot burn it. It was never born and it shall never die. So if you are eternal and infinite in nature, bouncing is your reality.
Okay. And what small daily practices can strengthen our emotional resilience?
So life has to be living, not practicing. Because the moment you have it in your being that this is a practice, then you will fall out of it. Because you are casting an impression on your genetical form and on your DNA expression that I am in a practice. So life is a living. Your breath, your thought, word and deed should be living it. And in this living, there is primarily, fundamentally breath, which brings awareness. Now, if you're conscious about every moving breath that goes in and every moving breath that comes out in a very seamless way, and then if you're also aware that despite the seamless continuity, however fast you breathe in and breathe out, there is always an antaral in between, which means life moving from first gear to second gear has to move from neutral. The neutral has to be passed through, which is the shunyam quotient. You cannot avoid the shunyam quotient. It could be at a lightning speed. But if you slow down your breath and slow down your move and moving through life, the awareness of Shunyam quotient will be there. In that awareness and moving through the Shunyam quotient, the newness and the creativity with your spontaneity. So off on one side there is Pashuvar, animal, instinctive life. And on the other side there is Purushat, which is intelligent, spontaneous life of creation every moment. And you as Manushya, which is vulnerable to Manasthiti and Parasthiti, ceases to exist because Purushat takes over. So in that, living, breathing fundamentally is the first thing. Number 2, When you are aware of every breath, you are completely aware of eternity of it too. And when you are aware of eternity and infinity, then the fear of losing out never is. Then you know that you are simply nimit, a madhyam. From here everything comes, from here everything goes, you are the custodian, and this is transient. And when you self-realize this is transient, there is no worry, there is no fear, there is no anxiety, there is no apprehension. So this awareness of breath keeps you in the moment, makes you the master of the moment, and makes you the miracle maker to create magic in the moment. So nothing remains permanent. So you remain the master, and resilience is there as a nature. You don't have to build it. You don't have to search for resilience. You were born with resilience. You know, Ghalib said once, आईने को देख के मैं जिंदगी को कोसता गया, धूल मेरे चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता गया. So which means, only if we reflect back and see and remove the layers of ignorance from our being, then we will know that who we are, and we are larger than life. Every soul is fortunate to have body as a vehicle to grow and evolve. Only then you can come to, with an absolutely deepest realization of Kevalya ki avastha, you will come to Swikriti, Samarpan, then you will get the universal Samarthan, then you become Samarth, all capable, then you become Saksham, all potential, then you become Sakshi, then you get Siddhi, then you get the Sankalpa, then you get the Samruddhi, and then Samadhi.
Beautiful. Okay, so how does resilience differ from simply suppressing emotions?
Resilience is nothing but a deepest core confidence in your creativity of dealing with so-called perceived stress. Stress is nothing but absence of creative imagination. Where there is creative imagination, there is no stress, because there is a solution to every suffering, and that takes you to celebration. Suffering will be there because life is seldom a lake, it is always an ocean in motion. You have to be still on the rough waves. Your being has to be still. If you're spinning on the circumference, you are constantly into ati and gati, so stumbling and falling, and constantly trying to balance. But if you keep withdrawing to your center and live out of your own being centered, trust me, very gradually this understanding and awareness of living will bring you to that calm which you are constantly hankering for. But chasing the calm will never come to you. Sthirta is within, and it happens in the Swayam. Swayam is your self-being and not the body. So Swayam mein Sthirta is very important. Yoga teaches you to be Swayam mein Sthit, Swayam mein Upasthit, which means be present. Swayam mein hona, or Swayam ko hone dena. Allow yourself to express. Swayam mein Swatantra banna, which means be independent and an individual in your own self. Swatantra ka Swami banna, Antaryami banna, Urdhgami banna. Antaryami banna means know yourself who you are, so you will know the world what it is. And Urdhgami banna means then you will levitate instead of getting moved towards Mooladhara chakra, where there is only fight, flight, fornicate and feed. Your awareness will turn upwards towards more subtler, deeper, higher realities of life, of celebrating life. So from Mooladhara it will move towards Swadhisthana, then to Manipura chakra, where you will annihilate all your fearful and phobic experiences of life. Then you will be liberated towards Anahata, where there will be only, once you are liberated from all fears and phobias, only then you can be compassionate and loving, and then you become selfless. Till the time you are fearful, you are still an animal. So then Anahata, from Anahata you move towards Vishuddhi, from Vishuddhi you move towards Agyan, from Agyan you move towards Sahasrara chakra. And there are neural correlates for every, like there is feed, fight, flight, fornicate. For Swadhisthana there is a restful awareness. The reactive response is in Swadhisthana. Then restful awareness, and there is a cusp. When you move towards Manipura, where you breathe it out all your lives and free, then restful awareness happens. Then at Anahata, that is a very compassionate awareness of flow, rhythm and giving hriday. And then you come to your Vishuddhi chakra. Now after giving, once you become a giver, you become a creator and a co-creator. Then you come to Agyan. Once you are a creator and a co-creator, you get all the siddhis of life. And the sankalpa becomes very easy. So the manifestation becomes just with one introduction of thought. Blink of an eyelid and things will happen. And then eventually, once your awareness moves to Sahasrara, that is the time the awareness of, from the time before you were born, till the time the chemical was born, till the time before even the Big Bang happened, the Brahman, that awareness will come to you of all kals, all lokas and all dimensions. beyond the level which science says.
Beautiful, incredible. Can resilience be learned at any stage in life, and if so, how?
So the most basic resilience should happen with the practice of yoga, philosophies, sutras, and Hatha Yoga, where you try and bring your body and make it subservient to your will. Hatha Yoga एक प्रक्रिया है where all the organs, systems and functions are subservient to you and not automatic. Where you can raise your heartbeat, bring it down, bring it to a still, improve your digestion, hold your bowels, hold your bladder, move your bowels, move your bladder, still your mind, be active in your mind, and everything. See what you want to, don't see what you don't wish to, hear what you want to, don't hear what you don't wish to. That through the experience of the asana, because when you do the postures, asanas are postures. Asana means A is the seat of consciousness, the seat of consciousness. While you're moving through the postures, the changing of self-realization in emotions, energy, upliftment, the feeling of high, feeling of calm, feeling of tranquil, serenity, equanimity happens. Now that elevates you to higher realities of understanding, through which once your breath comes to from 22 times a minute to 4 times a minute, you begin to understand the language not only of the humans, but of the animals, then of the trees, the birds, the bees, the mountains, the fountains, the earth of every bird, and everything that you see and everything that you don't. Okay? So that is how. Then the first resilience of immunity happens through yoga. Immunity is resilience in one interpretation. Tenacity also comes from immunity. Then the practice of yoga and doing it without punishing yourself and conserving your energy and preserving your breath and not doing hot yoga and doing ashtanga yoga, these are all mutilation of yoga. So yoga is saral, sthiram, sukham asana, which means everything that is done with effortless ease. Humans are not mules. Okay? So with little effort, maximum effect.
You do it from a place of joy.
Absolutely.
Something that comes
A
from
workout
within.
should never be a punishment, it should be a celebration. And this being settled in the moment, being settled in the stationary asanas, puts you in the flow, connects you with the rhythm, synchronizes you with the universe, and then because of which there is insight, foresights, vision, creativity, productivity, compassion, empathy, everything happening to you.
Wonderful. Amazing. You're an ocean of knowledge. Thank you
Well,
so
I'm
much.
just beginning, trying to get there, and I'm so fortunate that I've met the masters like B.K. Iyengar, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Deepak Chopra, worked with Baba Ramdev, worked with Sadhguru, Mahan Saji Yogas. I'm just blessed to have worked with so many big people. And I give full credence to Ramdev Baba, Shri Ravi Shankar, Sadhguru, and my favorite Mahan Saji Yogendra. What fantastic work they've done.